In at number 10, Jennifer Lopez. There have been a lot of celebrities that have lied to the public about their age, but this one was a weird one. For the longest time, Jennifer Lopez had the public believing that she was born in 1970. However, in 1999, a shooting took place inside of a nightclub where Puff Daddy, Jennifer Lopez, and Shine had been partying. The incident led to a 10-year prison sentence for Diddy's then protege, and one of the victims that evening was Tanya Rubin, who was actually shot in the face. Diddy, who was acquitted of all charges related to the case, settled with 3 victims of the 1999 club shooting. According to those reports, Rubin was paid $1.8 million, and yes, she survived that shot. When the police arrived though, they had to identify everyone involved with the incident, which led to Jennifer being caught in a lie about her age. In reality, she was born in 1969, but for whatever reason, she felt like knocking off that extra year made her feel younger. In at number 9, Milli Vanilli. For those of you who are too young to remember, Milli Vanilli was a German R&B duo from Munich that took over the charts with their hit song, Girl You Know It's True. However, one live performance in Bristol, Connecticut is what brought their whole career to an end. The band had the song on a pre-recorded track, but midway through the track got stuck. Imagine getting exposed like that in front of 80,000 people. This incident though unraveled a whole bunch of other lies. The band eventually had to tell the public that they've never even sung any of their own songs. Rob, who was one half of the duo, was so distraught with what happened that he quit the group shortly after. In at number 8, Miley Cyrus. Back in 2018, Miley Cyrus was fighting to have a videotape of her deposition sealed by a judge. According to The Blast, Cyrus was caught up in a legal battle regarding her sister's dog Feather. Cyrus's sister Brandy lived in an apartment complex that was paid for by her older sister. In 2014, Feather bit one of her neighbors, and because Miley paid for the apartment, she was forced to sit through a deposition where she answered questions pertaining to the dog. She claimed that she didn't know of the dog, which is a hilarious statement to say in a courtroom. However, after the neighbor did some digging, she found a video of Miley and Feather together from years back. She brought the evidence to court and used it to prove that Miley's testimony was a full-on lie. Once Miley learned of the video's existence, she went to court to file an amended declaration claiming that she did know Feather after all. Now Miley is asking for that judge to seal the videotape of the deposition. Her argument is that she is one of the most famous celebrities in the world and is the subject of media and tabloids speculating concerning even irrelevant minutiae details of her life. That neighbor couldn't care less though and still wanted the video to be released to the public. Although I don't think I've ever seen it. In at number 7, Nick Young. This is just another one of those messy celebrity breakups that had people shaking their heads the entire time. At first it started as a prank when the LA Lakers were recording player D'Angelo Russell and inadvertently included fellow player Nick Young. In the video, Nick apparently admits to cheating on his girlfriend, rapper Iggy Azalea. Young then says it was false, Iggy says okay, and the relationship goes on. However, not too long after that, she actually catches him on the security camera bringing women into the home. To make things even worse, Young was still expecting a baby with his ex-girlfriend, a baby that was definitely conceived while he was cheating on his ex with Iggy. And following the security cam footage, Iggy tweeted out, "I broke up with Nick because I found out he had brought other women into our home while I was away and caught them on the security footage." Then tweeting again saying, "This is just like a second shot to the chest and I feel like I don't even know who the hell it is I've been loving all this time." In at number 6, Kanye West. Kanye West has been doing his Kanye best to get himself into this election for November 3rd. The odds seemed to be very stacked against him, but time after time it looked as though he was finding new ways to prevail and end up on the ballot in most states under the party known as the Birthday Party. That being said, his petition to appear on New Jersey's ballot as a presidential candidate contained more than 600 defective signatures. Many of those signatures had very similar writing, and according to a formal complaint filed with the state on Wednesday, election law attorney Scott Salmon, a registered Democrat, filed the objection with the State Division of Elections after reviewing more than 1,300 signatures that the rapper had submitted. West managed to exceed the requirement of 800 signatures to appear on the ballot as an independent candidate in time for the deadline, but now his whole campaign is up in the air due to him being caught in this lie. In at number 5, Rebel Wilson. Rebel Wilson was outed for lying about her real name and her age. The Pitch Perfect actress had previously stated that she was 29 years old and that her real name was in fact Rebel. But thanks to an Australian tabloid, the world found out that she was actually a 35-year-old named Melanie Elizabeth Bounds. A year before the revelation, Wilson had told the tabloid that her real name was Rebel and that Melanie and Elizabeth were middle names she used in school to avoid getting teased. The tabloid uncovered official Australian documents that not only showed that to be untrue, but also proved that she was born on March 2nd, 1980, a full 6 years earlier than she had claimed. Two birds, one stone on that line. In at number 4, Angelina Jolie. Born in Los Angeles, California, Angelina is the daughter of actors Jon Voight and Marshall M. Bertrand. She is also the niece of Chip Taylor and sister of James Haven. On her father's side, Jolie is Czechoslovakian and German descent, and on her mother's side, she is French-Canadian and is said to be part Iroquois. Angelina has proudly said that she is part native, but according to her father, it's not true. According to John, his wife's claims of being part Iroquois were simply said to enhance her exotic background. After 1993, Bertrand turned her attention towards producing, and she was the executive producer of a documentary called Trudell about Native American activist John Trudell. It was shown at the Sundance Film Festival in 2005, and whatever her ancestry, Bertrand took an interest in Native causes and shared her activism with Angelina. Since then, Jolie has taken up causes such as refugee and immigrant children, although she is more than likely not Native American. You can care about it, but don't claim to be one. In at number 3, Bill Clinton. 22 years ago, the US House of Representatives voted to impeach President Bill Clinton for giving a false testimony about having an inappropriate relationship with White House intern Monica Lewinsky. The potential scandal of 1998 saw the 42nd US president give false statements under oath with a notorious one-liner leaving a big mark. The infamous words were broadcast during a press conference on January 26, 1998. In the summer, the president then admitted that he had been involved with Ms. Lewinsky, deeming the relationship not appropriate and a critical lapse in judgment. Mr. Clinton was later charged with 2 articles of impeachment, one for perjury for lying under oath to a federal judge, and the other for obstruction of justice. Impeachment proceedings then began in early 1999, concluding with Mr. Clinton being acquitted of both charges. Ah, democracy. Oh, and he wrote on Jeffrey Epstein's plane 26 times. Don't forget that. In at number 2, Lance Armstrong. In 2012, champion cyclist Lance Armstrong denied that he ever relied on performance-enhancing drugs. He referred to these doping allegations against him as outlandish and heinous. However, when the US Anti-Doping Agency released compelling evidence, the cyclist's house of lies finally crumbled. The agency released about 1,000 pages of evidence and doping allegations against Armstrong and his teammates. This led to him being stripped of his 7 Tour de France titles and bronze Olympic medal. Plus, his lie forced him to step down as chairman of the Livestrong Foundation. Armstrong would later give a detailed account of his doping to Oprah Winfrey in 2013. Last but certainly not least, on our number 1 spot, Amber Heard. Amber Heard willfully lied to US immigration by telling them that her British personal assistant was just a friend and was not working unlawfully. Her former aide, Kate James, who was fired by the actress in February of 2015, has now alleged in a high court battle that Miss Heard deliberately smuggled her dogs into Australia, which then led to her being caught breaching quarantine rules and overall thinking that she was just above the law. The claims were made in a witness statement by Miss James, which was submitted to the High Court as part of Johnny Depp's libel action against the Sun newspaper.
Alright guys, getting this list started at number 10 is Britney Spears. My 12-year-old self would refuse to believe that she would lie to her fans, but people were quick to call her out after she posted a picture of corn. Random, I know. Back in 2016, she was sharing some of her cooking and food that day on her Instagram stories, and then she posted a picture of her corn on her main feed, captioning it, "It's honestly too good to be true." But it really was too good to be true because it wasn't actually true at all. A fan quickly called her out on Twitter with the picture she posted being a Google image search recipe for Mexican grilled corn. They tweeted a side-by-side comparison and said, "When you're too lazy to cook, so you Google image search grilled Mexican corn." I mean, why do you have to lie about corn? Like, posting that picture of corn was just unnecessary. No one cared that you ate corn. Like, it's okay not to post about corn. Up next, number 9 is Oprah Winfrey. The iconic woman has been described as one of the richest and most influential women of all time. So it's not surprising that many companies would love for her to promote their products. The majority of the time she endorses them in a professional manner, but one time she really screwed up. Back in 2012, she tweeted out her thoughts on the Microsoft Surface, saying, "Gotta say, love the Surface. Have bought 12 already for Christmas gifts. Hashtag favorite things." I mean, the fact that you can even afford 12 is beyond me, but anyways. But Oprah must have forgot that when you tweet, it shows you where the tweet is coming from. For example, when you tweet from your iPhone, underneath the tweet it would say, "Sent from iPhone." Turns out, her tweet where she bragged about the Surface was sent from an iPad, and one of her fans quickly called her out for it. One user replied to her saying, "How much more would Microsoft have to pay you to get you to post that tweet from a Surface instead of an iPad?" The original post quickly got deleted, seeing as the two products are in direct competition with each other. Come on, Oprah, you've been in the business long enough. Sliding into number 8 is Justin Bieber. On Christmas back in 2014, the Biebs posted about a private jet that he apparently got for the big holiday. Which isn't totally shocking because we know that he can afford one, but a private jet isn't necessarily a normal gift to oneself. He posted a selfie shot inside the jet and captioned it, "New jet for Christmas, and she's beautiful." We don't know if his intentions were to actually lie about it, but it was definitely misleading, because it turns out that it wasn't his at all. He actually rented the G4 to fly from Canada to New York City. He shared a series of pictures from inside the aircraft showing off how sleek it was, seeing as it retails around a casual $60 million. His fans wouldn't know this, but media outlets did some digging and TMZ was the first to expose him for it. Cruising to number 7 is Khloe Kardashian. I am all for people feeling proud of their accomplishments, but I cannot get on board if you are lying about it. And that is the big debate on one of Khloe's Instagram posts. She uploaded a picture of different desserts that she claimed to have baked for Thanksgiving back in 2015. In her caption, she said that she was proud of herself and claimed that she set up her tripod and filmed her baking session in the kitchen. She said that it would be up on her app soon along with other different recipes. But the owner of an LA bakery called Sweet Lady Jane quickly recognized that the pies had actually been bought from her shop. And there was no video ever posted of her actually physically baking them. Fans were super disappointed once the secret was out, but it could just be that her pies look similar to the bakeries. Like maybe she modeled them after the bakeries. I don't know. It's hard to say. I don't want to call her a liar if she really did bake them, but what do you guys think? In at number 6 is Shay Mitchell. She's best known for her role on the hit TV series Pretty Little Liars, and maybe there's a valid reason why. She might just be a pretty little liar. Back in 2018, she was busted for lying about a product on her social media. For a few years, she was a brand ambassador for Biore, which means she posts a lot of SponCon for the brand on her pages. But there was one post that had her fans losing their minds. She posted a video on Snapchat demonstrating the use of their makeup remover, except she didn't actually use it. One of her fans took the video from her Snapchat and tweeted it out saying, "She ain't even actually rub her eye. I'm crying, LMFAO."
But these are by far my favorite. Even waterproof mascara, and leaves my skin feeling so fresh.
But the fan was not wrong. Shay doesn't even touch her eye, and her makeup is still very much there, yet somehow the makeup is on the cotton pad, even though she's not touching her eye. Fans started remaking the video showing how ridiculous it was and saying how shady the beauty community can be. We're already halfway through and we have another member of the Kardashian clan. This time it is Kim. The world is used to seeing her post sexy photos of herself, so it really wasn't all that surprising when she posted a throwback of one from 10 years prior. What was surprising was the caption that went along with it. She captioned it, "North was posting this while playing games on my phone. Not sure why or how she chose it, but I'm not complaining, lol. I deleted it, so now reposting it myself. Hashtag Flashback Friday from 10 years ago." Like what? This was back in 2015 when North was just 2 years old, by the way. I have a 2-year-old nephew, okay, and I am just having a hard time believing that a toddler could go to the app, open a new post, go to your images, select the picture, properly crop it into the frame, and then post it to your feed. I'm not buying it, Kim. You were looking hot in that bikini, you wanted to post it, and you blamed it on your 2-year-old daughter. I think you just posted it. We're here now at number 4 and we have Rita Ora. What do you do when you're caught in the middle of social media embarrassment and you don't know how to get out of it? Say that you were hacked. Duh. Many Twitter users were claiming this is what she did back in October 2014 when she claimed that she got hacked. What happened was on October 31st she tweeted out, "Dropping my new song Monday if this gets 100,000 retweets." She had 4 million followers at the time, so that would be easy, but it didn't even reach 10,000 retweets and the tweet was later deleted. Then she later tweeted out, "By the way, my Twitter got hacked. Somebody is threatening to release new music I've worked really hard on. Nothing comes out until I'm ready." The large majority of social media didn't buy it and said that she did that because of the low amount of retweets that she was receiving. One user wrote, "LOL, we all know you are just mad you didn't get 100,000 retweets. Come on, girl." And the rest of Twitter pretty much just followed in line with those tweets. And the third spot on our list is Kris Jenner. Nothing reveals the truth more than a Photoshop fail, am I right? Especially in today's day and age with the different editing apps and filters that everyone has access to. But Kris might need to work on her Photoshop skills, although in all fairness, she probably didn't think that she was going to get caught for this one. She posted a picture on her Instagram of her and celebrity chef Gordon Ramsay posing with her new cookbook. Their faces are very obviously airbrushed. I mean, they almost look like wax figures. She may have gone just a little heavy on the smoothing effect. But we see that all the time on Instagram, so no one really thought anything of it until Gordon posted the original unedited version of the same picture. There is nothing wrong with the original, they just have wrinkles, which Kris just clearly was not a fan of. Winning the number 2 spot on our list is Bella Thorne. She's known for being transparent and honest with her Instagram followers, which is super respectable. That might be why her fans were shocked when she lied about a fur jacket that she was wearing in one of her posts. She posted a mirror selfie wearing an Alice and Olivia fur jacket, and in the original post she wrote that it was fake fur. But her fans did some research on her claims and discovered that the jacket was made out of, I quote, "genuine rabbit and Arctic fox fur from China." Bella claimed that she didn't know this and ended up returning the jacket. She later deleted the part of the caption that said it was fake fur, but whether you believe she knew or not is up to you. I don't know, I feel like she's always really honest on social media, so I personally believe that that could have been a genuine mistake. However, fans aren't really believing her. In our number 1 spot is Bow Wow. For some reason, the rapper wanted to make himself appear like a big baller on his social media, but he got exposed and made himself look even worse than he would have if he was just being honest. He posted a photo on Instagram about hopping on a private plane. The caption said, "Travel Day, New York City press run for growing up hip hop. Let's go, I promise to bring y'all the hottest show ever." But someone Snapchatted a photo of him sharing the same flight as them, so he was never actually in a private jet at all. They snapped a picture of him on the plane and wrote, "So this guy Lil Bow Wow was on my flight to New York, but on Instagram he posted a picture of a private jet captioned traveling to New York today. Shake my head. Shake my head is right." If you're wondering, no, he did not delete his original post. It is actually still very much live on his Instagram. In spot number 10 is lying about a crime. Lil Kim's lie was more serious than other ones on our list. She did the unthinkable and lied to a federal grand jury. Back in 2005, she was sentenced to a year and a day in prison and was fined $50,000 after she lied about a criminal case and got caught. Her intentions were good in the sense that she lied in order to protect her friend who was involved in a 2001 shootout that took place in Manhattan. She was called to testify on behalf of her friend and manager, Damian Butler, and she claimed that she did not see him on the day in question. However, video footage then showed that they were together that day, so she was pretty much busted. She ended up admitting to her lies in her own trial, and that is when she was put behind bars. Coming up next, number 9 is a sex tape. There are plenty of celebrities we could probably have in this category who have made up an excuse or lie to hide the fact that they have made a sex tape. But one iconic example is the time that Kim Kardashian lied about her tape, which is what people say made her famous. In 2007, there were rumors going around that Kim and her then boyfriend at the time, Ray J, had made a sex tape. Of course, she denied these claims anytime she was asked about it during interviews. But then, a few months down the road, the infamous video got leaked and she issued an apology. But some people also came up with the theory that she lied about the whole thing and that she planned the video to get leaked and that it was all a publicity stunt. So, what do you guys think? This is literally one of the biggest debates ever. If she lied, or was this whole sex tape planned? Maybe she did want to get famous off it. Taking over the number 8 spot is lying about drugs. Another category that could probably have hundreds of celebrities. Like pretty much every Disney star. Miley actually just admitted in that Joe Rogan interview that she, during Disney, she lied about being being on marijuana all the time. Good to know. But this lie wasn't just some tabloid gossip, it actually ended Lance Armstrong's entire career. Everyone knows that the use of steroids has always been a very taboo topic in the sports world. For years, the pro cycler had claimed he had never used performance-enhancing drugs, but then he was under investigation for doping. In 2012, he was stripped of his 7 Tour de France titles after being busted for using drugs throughout his career. It was reported that he was running one of the most sophisticated doping scandals in sports history. He later sat down with Oprah where he admitted to the whole thing and of course apologized. Rolling into number 7 is song lyrics. When it comes to songwriting, it's not uncommon for artists to work with other people to help create the lyrics to their song. But taking credit for it is never the right thing to do, and rumor has it that is what Beyonce did for one of her songs. Back in 2008, the Queen was taking credit for her catchy lyrics in her single Irreplaceable. Now, she did write the background harmonies, but it was later revealed that Neo had actually written the song. He talked about it during an interview and actually admitted that he regrets giving the song away to her. He said, "One song that I gave away and didn't want to is Beyonce's Irreplaceable. I honestly wrote that song for myself." People were actually shocked to find out it wasn't her behind those words, and it was actually one of his personal experiences. Moving on to number 6 is lying about an injury. Maybe there's been a time in your life that you faked an injury to get out of something, or you made one seem just more dramatic than it really is. Ed Sheeran did this, but we did not find out about it until later on. Back in 2017, he was making headlines after reports said that he accidentally cut his face with a sword during a party. People took it very seriously because they didn't have any reason not to. But then a few months later, the story was confirmed to be a total hoax. During an interview with Shortlist, James Blunt dished out the truth and said, "Ed was drunk, messing around, and he cut himself. We made a fancy story up, people fell for it. It was very embarrassing." Embarrassing for Ed because he was drunk and did that, or embarrassing for us because we actually believe that he cut his face with a sword? I believed it. But I'm also an idiot. Halfway through our countdown, number 5 is lying about a song. We have already touched on the subject of artists lying about song lyrics, claiming to be theirs, but this is a little different. Singer Robin Thicke was called out for lying about one of his songs to a point where a plagiarism lawsuit came from it. In 2012, his hit song Blurred Lines was taking over the radio, and he listed himself as co-writer for the lyrics alongside Pharrell. But then, 2 years later, in 2014, a plagiarism lawsuit popped up when it came to light that the track may have been a ripoff of Marvin Gaye's song Got to Give It Up. Robin then denied that he had written the song and actually put the writing status on Pharrell instead and claimed that he was not the co-writer after all. When all was said and done, Marvin Gaye's estate ended up receiving $7.3 million for the song. So that was an expensive lesson to learn about telling the truth, although maybe it wasn't intentional, you know? Like maybe they didn't mean to rip off the song, but it sounded like it. Up next, number 4 is lying about cosmetic procedures. This one is probably the most common one on our list. Oftentimes, celebrities will hide the fact that they've had any kind of work done and claim their features are natural. Like Kylie Jenner, for example. Despite being famous for her Kylie lip kits, there was a time when she was denying having lip fillers done, even though people could see very well that they were done. For years, people were calling her out for having noticeably larger lips, but she always said she was just drawing them bigger with lip liner. Then, in May 2015, the truth was revealed by the girl herself during an episode of Keeping Up with the Kardashians. During one scene, she said, "I have temporary lip fillers. It's just an insecurity of mine and it's what I wanted to do. I want to admit to the lips, but people are so quick to judge me on everything, so I might have tiptoed around the truth, but I didn't lie." No, that's a lie. That's still very much a lie when you're denying that you had them done. Taking over 3rd place is lying about your age. Let's be honest, it is not only a celebrity thing to do. There are times when someone will lie about their age to get into a club, or maybe lie about their age to feel younger than they are or older. But Nelly's reason was a little ridiculous, and fans couldn't believe he would lie about his age just to qualify for an award. There was an annual list going around for teen people's hottest stars under 25, and it seems like he really wanted to be on it back in 2003. He ended up being nominated as one of the hottest stars under 25, but he was lying to people and to himself because he was actually 28 years old. I don't know how no one like caught on to this in the process. Like a quick Google would probably clear that up, but he must have wanted it that bad. In spot number 2 is lying about marriage. There's been many occasions where celebrities have faked relationships as a publicity stunt. I've actually done a few videos on it, so I know for a fact there is a lot. But lying about a marriage, that is taking things to a whole different level. Actress and singer Brandy announced back in 2002 that she'd gotten secretly married to music producer Robert Smith. She said they kept the wedding private, and they even went on to be featured in Diary Presents Brandy Special Delivery, which documented the birth of their daughter. No one would have ever guessed that the truth was to come in 2004. Just 2 years later, it was revealed that they had split up, and that is when Brandy explained they had actually never been married in the first place. Like on her whole documentary show, she faked the whole thing. She ended up giving a public apology on the Oprah show, but people were not happy. I mean, just why even say you're married? But I did watch the episode on the Oprah, and she just felt guilty for having a baby and not being married, and she knew she was pregnant, so she just said she was married. The pressures of Hollywood, I guess. We've made it to number 1, and we have lying about a serious crime. In January 2019, the former Empire actor Jussie Smollett started making headlines after reports said that he got attacked during a serious hate crime. They claimed it happened outside of his Chicago apartment when 2 guys jumped him and started calling him racist and homophobic slurs. The crime was being taken very seriously, and it sent shockwaves all around Hollywood and on the internet. But then 1 month later, it was revealed that he actually planned the whole thing and that it was actually fake. The 2 suspects actually brought the check with them to court that he had written to them to act out the whole thing and go along with it. He ended up getting kicked off the show and was charged for filing a false police report, but somehow the charges were later dropped, which is like still mind-boggling to me. Like he literally just got off clean. Lost the show and probably a lot of respect, but no legal charges.